conventional or something?
I haven't really tried it under those circumstances. Can I just push that cable?
Number 21, Guptek. Number 21, Thomas Villamendi. Number 22, Michael Weyer. Number 23, Oscar Carlson. On the bench, number 1, Luka Romic. Number 4, Tofik Oliomoive. And number 9, Bilay Habib. Number 18, Javier Aritia Number 19, Rison Tafunai. And number 24, Cooper Hill. Thank you. Good.
Great, now I'm fucking pissed off to start the game. Maybe I should just give up trying to use it.
Well, you need to figure out why is that good?
Yeah. I'd love to figure that out, James. That would be... I would love to figure that out.
Like you should try it at a venue with power.
Yeah, I have. I've tried the grounds where I've used the mains power, yeah. And I spoke to Josh Parrish and some of the other callers, and they said, oh, yeah, get your own power. Don't use the mains power. Gonna here we go, James, you'll love this. I'll try and bring a few more cables next time.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
One, two, three, four. If anybody knows why there's a buzz, please let James the cameraman know. Or myself. Tried power bank. Tried male XLR, not working. It's all good. Of course, I will be talking louder than that. Probably the best I've seen this pitch in all my times coming out here. It looks great. Yeah. Yeah, but it's normally pretty patchy. Yeah, they've only played one game here, yeah. Oh, I should have kept my tape out. Do you have a tape handy, mate, or not? Tape? Yeah. I put my... Yeah, so's mine. That's what I'm saying. I should have left it out. Oh, well. Yeah, it's going to be good fun packing all this up. I had to do the same thing last week. Couldn't use it because it wouldn't work, and then had to pack it up. I don't think it's that because I had the same buzzing issue, the exact same, even when I was using, not here, but yeah. Right, okay. Is that yours or does that belong to Sportscast? Right. Forgot to ask the refs if we've got a um, minute of silence or moment of silence. Overall, compared to last year, the picture, I don't know. Something there might have been some change. Really? I remember watching matches in round one, and I thought, wow, this looks a lot better than last year. You'll give me a thumbs up? Okay. Kickoff on match day 6 of the 2026 Senol NPL Victoria season, and on this blockbuster Friday night where the Big Greens returns to the top division. The Bentleigh Greens back at Kingston Heath, back in the top division spotlight and back in business after victory in Altona last time out. And what of Green Gully? Proud, storied and presently searching as much as suffering 1 point from 5. Just 2 goals scored. It's not easy being Green Gully right about now, and the shadow of an unwanted place in their illustrious history looms large upon David Chick's side tonight. Quite a bit to play for then on this Friday night at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. The Bentleigh Greens and Green Gully on tap tonight. Brent Sternberg here with you on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. This is the first of 4 matches for your viewing pleasure this evening. George Katsakis has made no changes to the Bentleigh side that beat Altona last week. So Ahmed Taleb starts in goal again with the back 4 of Dion Nicolaides, Kalalu Kamara, Michael Boffey and Scott Hillier, the captain. Mario Baldea and Lee Broxham will play ahead of the back 4. Mo Adara in midfield. Anthony Frangi and Javad Rezai on the wings. Marky Petratos, fresh off that brace last week, will lead the line for the Greens. The only changes to the Greens lineup this evening is on the bench, where Luca Resti and Sam Grella go out. They are replaced in the squad by Keiji Kagiyama and Dimitri Relos. David Chick has made 4 changes from the Gully side that lost so disappointingly to South Melbourne last Friday night. One of them is in goal, where Luka Romic is replaced by the returning Michael Weir. Taufik Olamawewe, Bilal Habib are back on the bench, and Kerr goes out of the squad entirely. Diego Cuba and Elio and Kifley start tonight, as does Matthew Crooks, who makes his first appearance of the season, his 100th in the NPL top division. So Michael Weir in goal, a back 4 of Tom Werndl, Aminam Khamis, Jalil Regaig and Matthew Crooks. Playing ahead of the back 4, Scotsman Scott Lockhead and Swede Oscar Carlson. Josh Hope will play ahead of those 2. Elio and Kifley on the wing, Diego Cuba on the other side. And Juan Gatkek will lead the line for the Gully this evening. Youngster Rushton Tafanai replaces Ashton Alawalia in the squad on the bench this evening. Your officials this evening: in the middle we have Terry Constandalos. The sideline officials Tom Rushton and Vince Turcarello, and the 4th official is Nick Mackay. The Bentleigh Greens in the green, naturally. And Green Gully for the first time this season in their change strips. The golden shirts and socks with the black shorts. Gully going from a left to right. And Bentleigh from right to left. Green Gully desperately looking to get their first victory of the season. If they fail to get a result this evening, the famous old Cavaliers will be off to their equal worst start to a league campaign since 1979. Bentleigh, of course, looking for 2 consecutive victories. Good to have the Big Green back in the top division. Here's an opportunity for Juan Gatkek. Gully on the march, early days. Gatkek tangling with Khamis, who falls over the byline. The ball is behind for a goal kick. Kalalu Kamara it was, my mistake. Tangling with Juan Gatkek, who is assuming the role of the number 9 tonight for the Gully. Elio and Kifley, one of the young up-and-coming Green Gully players, playing out on the left wing. Picked up in midfield here by Oscar Carlson. Nice turn there by Kifley. Kalalu Kamara, one of the big off-season signings for Bentleigh, coming over from Avondale. Recruited well, Bentleigh, out of the top division for a couple of seasons. Coming into match day 6, 7th on the table. Green Gully dead last. Bentleigh with a record of 2 wins, a draw and 2 losses. Green Gully down there on the bottom, yet to register a victory this season. Just the 1 draw to go along with the 4 losses, including that 1-0 defeat at home to South Melbourne last week. A South team that named a bunch of their young players. Here is Dion Nicolaides rolling forward for Bentleigh. Runs into Scott Lockhead. Lockhead grabbed a hold of his arm and brought him down. Broxham trying to take it quickly. The referee saying too quickly. And so an opportunity for Bentleigh to take stock here from a set piece. Lee Broxham, second season at Bentleigh. The irreplaceable experience and guile of the former Melbourne Victory midfielder. It's a great ball in towards the back post, where he found the head of Mario Boldea, and Boldea fired it straight in to the returning Michael Weir, who was on the bench last week. Luka Romic, the youngster, holding down the fort for a couple of matches, but Michael back between the sticks this evening. For appearance number 134 in the top division of Victorian football. Lockhead gives himself an opportunity to shoot. I think he was trying to play the ball in behind for Josh Hope, who is wearing the number 7 this evening. So the first time in the away shirts, or the change strip, I should say, and some of the numbers maybe not quite fitting. So Josh Hope wearing Kerr-Kerr's number 7. First corner kick of the evening goes the way of the Gully. In towards the near post. Glancing header there from the rising Hope. And it goes all the way towards the corner flag. And out for a throw-in for the Gully. 53rd league meeting between the Bentleigh Greens and Green Gully. First for a couple of years, of course, with Bentleigh relegated at the end of the 2023 season. 2022 season, I should say. Camus. Here is Regaig, who has slotted into the heart of the back four this evening by the looks of it. Tom Werndl at left back this evening, swapping from the right back position. Matthew Crooks playing at right back and wearing the captain's armband this evening. As I mentioned, appearance number 100 in the top flight of Victoria for Matty Crooks. He's been absent this season up until now, former Bentleigh player. Was a part of that championship winning team in 2019. Boldea clipping it through for Adara, who has stayed on side. Adara to the byline, got a couple of Green Gully shirts to beat. And Mohamed Adara will settle for Bentleigh's first corner kick of the night. Adara, another one of those off-season acquisitions. Started every match for Heidelberg United last season, including the grand final. A whole lot of yelling and shouting going on. The Gully trying to set things right here defensively. Broxham's right-footed in swinger. Dealt with and cleared away by Regaig. Boldea. Bentleigh on the prowl here. The cross there from Jawad Rezai is blocked. 53rd league meeting. Green Gully lead the historical head-to-head 25 wins to 21. 6 draws thrown in there as well. These are two teams that have met one another once or twice down the years in the cup competition as well. Long throw-in pending here for Bentleigh. Werndl gets the better of Michael Boffey with the header there. Anthony Frangi, here's Petratos. He's the one that will have Green Gully sweating this evening. 4 goals already this season, including 2 last week. Josh Hope blazing down the left channel for the Gully. Manages to keep possession. He's gone a long way here, Josh Hope. Gat kick. Showed a little bit too much to the Bentleigh defence. And then Kiflay loses out, and Bentleigh can take their turn. Up and back start here at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. Bentleigh's second home match of the season. They stunned Avondale here 3 weeks ago, winning 2-0. Long ball played forward here, Petratos. Back playing his football in Victoria, Marky Petratos returns from NPL New South Wales, where he was with the Sutherland Sharks. Of course, former Heidelberg United, former A-League player as well, with the Newcastle Jets. Cameraman James bringing you the fine pictures here as the floodlights begin to take effect at Kingston Heath. Lovely sunset on the far side of the ground. We've missed these Friday nights at Kingston Heath in the top division. As I mentioned in the preamble, Bentleigh back in the spotlights and back where they feel they belong. Matty Crooks back where he belongs. We're in the armband for Green Gully. Broxton penalised for a foul there. Hope with his back to goal. Kiflay's looked lively already down the left wing for the Cavaliers. Kiflay just losing his footing as he entered the attacking penalty area for the Gully. Ahmed Taleb gleefully accepts, coming up a clean sheet last week. Ahmed Taleb. So Bentleigh at 0-0 draw with George Cross on match day 1, the 2-0 win against Avondale. Here on match day 2, as Dion Nicolaides has just been told by Terry Kansdondalos to just go back to where the ball actually exited the pitch. Then it was the 1-0 loss away to Hume City. And then a 1-0 loss to South Melbourne before getting the better of the Magic men last week. Here's Scott Hillier coming in to join the attack and shooting from distance and scoring the opening goal for Bentleigh, the captain, Scott Hillier. And Bentleigh strike from distance, an unlikely goal scorer, has the Greens in front 11 minutes into the match. Well, they just stayed off him momentarily, the Green Gully defenders and midfielders for that matter. And Scott Hillier makes them pay. And Green Gully are in that all-familiar position. They've conceded another early goal, and they are behind in the deep southeast. Scott Hillier, a tremendous strike from range, has Bentleigh Greens 1, Green Gully 0. Just Scott Hillier's 6th goal in this, his 90th appearance in the top division. The 32-year-old Scott Hillier, 4th season at Bentleigh, come over from Avondale in 2023. And you would have forgiven Green Gully for thinking, well, Scotty doesn't score many goals. He's not really a threat from there. And in one instant moment of regret, they were made to pay. And Michael Weir scrambling down low to his left, unable to keep it out. Kifley runs into the goal scorer, Scott Hillier. And coming into match day 6, there's all sorts of statistics that you can bring up to encapsulate the Gully struggles. That only led for 13 minutes total. Nice build-up play here for Bentleigh. Razai brings it down. Awkward moment here for the Gully on the edge of the box. Frangie out for Adara, who can shoot from the acute angle. It fizzes right across the penalty area and is turned away by Scott Lockhead. Bentleigh well on top here in the early stages. Friday night football at Kingston Heath. They look in the mood, do the Greens. Adara. Baldea. Adara. Petrados closed down quickly, manages to keep possession. The lunging Anthony Frangie. Werndl tangling with Adara. Razai appears with it on the right flank for the Greens. Kifley trying to turn the ball upfield. Here's Gatkek. Hope running into a dead end. Carlson trying to lend a hand. Bentleigh win it back. Adara's first time release couldn't find Marky Petratos, who was lurking in between the two Green Gully centre halves. Nicolaides, long-time Heidelberg United player, been worn like a glove here and then ridden like a horse by Matthew Crooks. Told you about Bentleigh's form line this season. Green Gully lost 2-1 away from home in the Village on match day 1 to the defending champions Heidelberg United. Then a 2-0 loss at home to George Cross, a result that shocked many. Long ball forward here for the Greens. Petratos chases. And then the 5-0 collapse against Avondale, followed by a 1-1 draw with Hume City, and then that disappointing showing last Friday night at home against South Melbourne. Adara watched closely by Camus. Broxham not really chasing that pass with any determination or vigour. It's a poor clearance by Crooks. And so too by Jalil Regaig. And Gully continue to stand with their backs against the wall. Here is Scott Hillier. Great crossing towards the near post. And Regaig slices it high into the setting sun and behind for a corner. Dion Nicolaides trots over to take. And they line themselves up at the near post once again. Nicolaides skies it in towards the back post. Kamara's header. Not going to challenge Michael Weir on that occasion. I mentioned their goal scoring woes so far this season. Green Gully just 2 goals through the first 5 matches. That is the fewest in more than 30 years for the Cavaliers through the first 5 games of a season. Nice build-up here from Bentleigh. Adara's first-time cross, and then turned over his own crossbar there by Tom Werndl. Wave after wave of Bentleigh Green's attacks. Got to go back to the 1993 season when Green Gully scored just 1 goal through the first 5 games. Credit to David Chick, however, he's shaken things up front tonight. Given a couple of different players a chance. Diego Cuba and Kiflay. We'll see tonight if maybe Bilal Habib can have an impact coming on off the bench. Another corner kick here for Bentleigh. To be taken by Rezai. Well, in towards the back post. That wraps around the back post and behind for a goal kick. Bentleigh last week in that win over Altona. 11 shots on goal, 6 on targets. Altona just 5 shots to right home, about 4 of them on target, but none able to find the back of the net. And Bentleigh mustering a clean sheet. Well, they were terrific defensively last season in the VPL 1. The Greens 11 clean sheets in 26 games. Just 20 goals conceded. That was the fewest in a campaign for Bentleigh since the year 2000. So it was a good season last year for Bentleigh, for those that live by the adage of defence winning championships. Eventually finishing 1 point clear of George Cross on top of the table. Disappointing giveaway there by Anthony Frangi. Green Gully, meantime, have gone 13 games without keeping a clean sheet. That's going to stretch to 14 tonight. And they just cannot get their foot on the ball here as we head towards 20 minutes played at Kingston Heath. Kel Kamara retreating all the way back here to Ahmed Talib. Long ball forward by Boffet. Petrados couldn't trace the flight of the ball, and Lockhead is racing forward for the Gully. Runs into 4 green shirts and inevitably loses possession. Kamara. Hillier. Not entirely sure what Scott Hillier's idea was there. Hope pops up in a pocket of space in midfield. Cuba and Crooks. Green Gully running out of ideas and now retreating. Werndl. Nice release here for Gatkek, who's gotten in behind the Bentleigh back 4. Hillier trying to make up ground, cross into the penalty area. Kiflay runs into the Bentleigh captain, and Adara might be able to get Bentleigh upfield by winning a foul. The other matches coming your way this evening. Dandenong City and Hume City at Frank Holohan. That match kicked off about 10 minutes ago. We've got Oakley at 8:15, hosting Caroline Springs George Cross. And at 8:30, the big one out of BT Connor Reserve in Reservoir, Preston and Avondale. So 4 games on this Friday night. It leaves us light on for matches tomorrow and Sunday. Match day 6 already. Good golly. Adara. Back for Michael Boffey. Broxham's pass a little errant. Kamara has to get his skates on to go and latch onto it. Bentleigh still in complete control. Nicolaides ushered under the dipping football by Matty Crooks, and Karmas earns the throw in for the Gully. Last meeting between these two. Match day 16, 2023. Green Gully winning 3-1 at Green Gully Reserve. Goal scorers that day for the Gully: Adolf Kadakpo, Pierce Waring and Tyler Vecchio. Good work there by Bentleigh in midfield for Bentleigh. Nicolaides has been ever present early on here at Kingston Heath. Rezai getting friendly with Matthew Crooks. Nicolaides and Oscar Carlson. Scott Lockhead, I should say. Oh, Karmas playing with fire at the back. This is Oscar Carlson. This is Alion Kifley for Hope. And the ball upfield. Gatkick can't make a play at it because he was offside. Carlson tries to use one Gatkick. It sits up for Scott Lockhead, who couldn't get past the last defender and create himself a shot at goal. Still waiting for one Gatkick to get off the mark for the Gully this season. Still waiting for all of their goal-scoring threats, really. The only two players to find the back of the net so far this season for the Cavaliers, Scott Lockhead and Jalil Regaig. Here's the Scotsman. Well-weighted ball through, but Josh Hope was in an offside position. Kalalu Kamara had it covered in any case. Sixth appearance of the season for Kalalu Kamara, his fifth start. Another former Avondale player, mentioned it earlier, 78 appearances for the Avengers, was a part of the championship winning team in 2023. Baldea and Broxham working well in midfield. Awkward moment there from Michael Boffey. Nicolaides just trying to get the ball forward with blunt force. And he's clattered into Aminom Karmas, and both players have gone down as a result of that coming together. And our referee, Terry Constantinos, gives the signal for the medical folks, the trainers for both sides, to come over and check out our two fallen soldiers. Bentleigh in there as we take a trip down memory lane with Bentleigh in their 25th season. All told in the top flight, return to the top division this season after winning the VPL 1. They had been on a 14-year run in the top division from 2010 to 2023 before being relegated at the end of the 2023 season. It's their third stint all told in the top tier. Of course, three-time Victorian champions, two-time Doherty Cup winners, four-time Community Shield winners, and obviously the great runs that they've had in the National Cup competition, two-time semi-finalists. The first ever State League team to reach the Final Four. Green Gully in their 71st season of competition, as both Nicolaides and Karmas come from the pitch. Looks like they're both okay. A nice gesture between the two, a handshake. No hard feelings. And both players will return to the fray in a moment. It's their 49th consecutive season, Green Gully in the top division. (1977 to 2026). That does include a 3-year stint in the National Soccer League in the mid-1980s. A proud football club that has fallen on hard times here. Josh Hope is onside. Tracks the ball down in the corner. Works across in towards the back post. Nicolaides has it covered, and a glancing header goes behind for the Cavaliers' second corner kick of the match. And perhaps an opportunity here after that minor halt in play to catch Bentleigh unawares and find an equaliser here. So far, Green Gully have not looked like scoring. Lockhead's well placed, crossing towards the back post. Jalil Regaig's header. Well, some were pleading that it came off the defender, and some knew better, including the referee. Green Gully, 6-time champions of Victoria. 4-time premiers, 5-time Doherty Cup winners. So when I say proud and illustrious, you get the picture. Diego Cuba draws the foul for Green Gully. He's another one that has obviously not been able to find a shirt that fits. They're wearing the number 10 tonight rather than 25. Nicolaides caresses the header down. Might have been designed for the goalkeeper. Michael Boffey said, "We're not playing any funny buggers here." Nice crowd that has built slowly here at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. Sure, you can see them mingling on the far side under the grandstand, but there's plenty down below as Gatkek gives chase. But once again, found himself in an illegal position. New Zealander who joined the Cavaliers this season from Western Springs. Spent the past 3 seasons at Western Springs, previously Miramar Rangers, Western Suburbs and Team Wellington. Getting some special comments from the crowd here. All the fun of the fair. David Chick casting a troubled figure on the far side as he slumps back down in his chair. Takes a swig of his drink bottle in an aggravated fashion. Former Bentleigh coach, of course. He was the one who was in charge when Bentleigh were in the VPL1. Here's an opportunity for Frangie. Hold that thought. It gets past the winger. Dion Nicolaides in towards the back post. They're queuing up here, Bentleigh. Petratos has his shot blocks. And he should be able to track down this football and keep the attack alive. A heavy touch sees the ball out of play. And I just wonder if Nicolaides had his time over again, if he wouldn't have maybe fired at the goalmouth. He had 2 options at the back post. One of them in Anthony Frangie was sitting down. Don't score too many goals in that position. Yeah, David Chick took over as Bentleigh coach at the start of the 2023 season. Bentleigh were in the 2nd division, in charge of just 6 matches before stepping aside. It's good work there by Bentleigh. He doesn't win the foul. Petratos trying to get away from Karmas. Bentleigh. Kifley's clearing header. Bentleigh back in possession. Scott Hillier, it's his goal that separates these two. 33 minutes into the contest. Of course, after David Chick departed, it was George Katsakis who took the reins. And it's no coincidence that when Bentleigh found a little bit of stability at the managerial position, things started to turn around for them. Early release there, looking for Adara. It runs on for Michael Weir. Oh, here's an awkward moment for Diego Cuba. Jawad Rezai buzzing around. And then a poor clearance by Michael Weir. Frangi looking to clip it in over the top for Petratos. To no avail on this occasion. Josh Hope loses possession. Nicolaides and Broxham, and now Michael Boffey. Another long ball forward. Petratos. Now Karmas has missed the football. Petratos. Still Marky Petratos. He's bumped off the football. He goes down. Referee waves it away initially. It turns into a mad scramble. Petratos emerges with the ball again. Again gets bowled over. And fleeing the scene with the ball at his laces is Jalil Regaig. Quite the scrappy affair in Bentleigh's 18-yard box. Marky Petratos going down not once but twice for the sum total of 0 fouls. And now the referee, Terry Constantinos, is just having a chat with Anthony Frangi. He spotted something that he thinks is illegal. I wonder if that's maybe a little bit of flowing blood, perhaps, coming from the knee of the Bentleigh winger, Anthony Frangi. He has to leave the pitch for now and have it tended to. Adara with a mid-air karate kick. That's a super challenge. A super challenge from Matthew Crooks, who's rolling forward now for the Gully. Just 2 players ahead of him. In towards the back post. It's awkwardly cleared away by Hillier. Carlson trying to bring it down and lay it off to Hope. All in one foul swoop. It's drawn Hope away from the 18-yard box. What a turn there from Kifley! Oh! Lovely move by the young Gully superstar. Trying to bend it into that top right-hand corner. It would have been one almighty goal. Ahmed Taylor relieved to see it bend past the far post, and the rest of the Bentleigh Greens fans in the house tonight shared that sense of relief. Well, the 2 Green Gully centre-backs looking at one another there. Eventually Regaig taking defensive action. Lockhead's long ball is well placed. Josh Hope and Taylor on the fringes of the 18-yard box. Thinking on the run there, the young goalkeeper for Bentleigh. I'm going to say young, 23 years of age. That's still young in the goalkeeping universe. They're obviously happy with him between the sticks. They've got Brendan White, who admittedly is out injured at the moment, but he is the number one choice here at Bentleigh. The reserve goalkeeper is Yanni Balatsis on the bench this evening. The hurdling Josh Hope. Cuba. Well, that pass a little heavy by Crooks. He's got to get on his bike just to keep the ball in play. Looking a little better these last couple of minutes here, Green Gully. Oh, Carlson trying to lead Michael Boffey a merry dance. Well, despite the fact that Bentleigh have been the better team in this first half, the Cavaliers might be buoyed by the fact that the Greens haven't created too many clear-cut opportunities outside of that one long-range strike from Scott Hillier that has these two teams separated at the moment. Building in confidence, though, the Gully. Crooks looking to fashion that one onto the head of Josh Hope. Scott Hillier ushers it out of play. Anthony Frangi is back with us now, by the way. You can see he's had that knee strapped. Anthony Frangi has come across from Altona. 8 goals last season for the Magic in 20 appearances. Making appearance number 50 tonight in the top flight. A lot of those with Altona and the now departed Melbourne Knights prior to that. Karmas out for Crooks. Cutting inside. Hope. And a midfield batter with Rezai. Hope does well enough to draw the foul. They've certainly been a lot better these last 5-10 minutes, Green Gully, than they were in the first 25 minutes or so. Probably been the better team since we reconvened after that little stoppage for the clash between Nicolaides and Karmas. Certainly wasn't a long stoppage, but upon resumption, Green Gully have looked the better side. Cuba pokes it in towards the back post. Werntle was there. I think he might have missed that header altogether. He must have, because it's been adjudged a goal kick. Bentleigh, so far this season, ranking 11th in this 14-team league for average time in possession. 46.2. Green Gully up there in 6th, 51.3%. It's probably been Bentleigh shading the possession through the first 40 minutes here this evening. Nicolaides, a lovely little touch. He contours the touchline. Well won back there by Crooks. Doesn't look like he's missed a beat. Matthew Crooks, he's been tremendous in this first half. His first 41 minutes of the season. Former youth player at Adelaide United and was on trial as a younger man in England for both Chelsea and Portsmouth. Here is Matthew Crooks. Carlson loses possession. Rezai on the turn. Odara's back heel just misses Marky Petratos, who's popped up on the left wing and has popped up with the ball. Boldea. Anthony Frangi. Closed down quickly by Carlson. Frangi loses his footing again. Bentleigh keen to double their lead. Get some insurance before the half-time break. Just getting a little bit sloppy there on the extremities of the pitch on the far side. One ball forward looking for Juan Gatkek, who has been inconspicuous in this first half. Well, here we go. We've got the first booking of the evening. Jawad Rezai interfering with the resumption of play. So Jawad Rezai will walk the tightrope for the rest of the match. Crooks. Rezai defending on that yellow card. Lockhead. Carlson. And the left-footed Tom Werndl in a good position to get a ball into the area. Juan Gatkek's header comes off the frame of the goal. It bundles around. Gatkek retrieves possession. Crooks to the byline and fizzes the cross. It was well hit. It was probably too well hit. On the best opportunity of the match, probably really for either side, certainly for Green Gully. Gatkek rising high and being denied only by the frame of the goal, had Ahmed Taylor beaten hands down. Was that Gully's chance to restore parity at the break? The beauty of a ball in from Tom Werndl. There's a lot of people around the traps that raised eyebrows when Tom Werndl was named at right back for Green Gully the past few weeks. Obviously that was just out of necessity with the returning Matthew Crooks that has allowed Werndl to play on the left, where he's far more dangerous, as we just saw, with that wicked left foot. Frangie and Nicolaides colliding with one another, a bit of friendly fire, and Frangie this time has, well, he did stay down, he was wriggling around. He's back up on his feet now. Rezai being stalked by Crooks. Ball ricochets out of play. We await from our fourth official, Nick Mackay, as to how many minutes we will have added on. 2 is the answer. Oh, down goes Crooks and Rezai tumbles over the top. Foul could have gone either way, really. There goes the way of the Cavaliers. He'd want to get away here, Jawad Rezai. He just picked up a cheap yellow card for holding up the sequence of play. If he got booked again for a similar offence, 2 fouls for that within 5 minutes would have to be the dumbest red card, or sending off, the accumulative red card that you've ever seen. Rezai, another one who returned to Victoria to play his football this year from New South Wales, Marconi Stallions. Baldea's header, Broxham's header, Frangie's first time ball. They're trying to get it over the top of the Green Gully back four. Exploit the Gully's back four with the pace of Petratos and Frangie and Rezai. Throw in on the far side that Green Gully are not really all that keen to take quickly. Both teams perhaps settling on taking a 1-0 scoreline into the half. Boffey. Nicolaides. Did well to get past Scott Lockhead, but ran out of room. In this first half, in which we have now run out of time. The Bentleigh's 1-goal lead is preserved at the break. That will be Oranges here at Kingston Heath. Relatively even first 45 minutes. Bentleigh certainly the better team in the first 20-25 minutes or so, and they had the goal to show for it. A long-range effort from captain Scott Hillier has Bentleigh in front. That was an 11th minute strike from the Green skipper. The Green Gully got better as that first half wore on. Certainly haven't dipped their heads after going behind again. Juan Gatkek had the best opportunity for the Cavaliers late in that first half when he met a beauty of a cross from Tom Werndl with a header that went off the crossbar. Green Gully denied by the frame of the goal. The best opportunity probably of the first half for either side. And Green Gully will go into the change rooms and plot their comeback into this match. Brent Sternberg here with you. Friday night football at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. We'll take our halftime break and be back for the second 45 in just a moment. The score here at halftime, Bentleigh Greens 1, Green Gully 0. Well, welcome back to Kingston Heath Soccer Complex, everybody. The first game of 4 tonight in the Senol NPL Victoria men's season. Match day 6. We're underway in the second half here between the Bentleigh Greens and Green Gully. Bentleigh lead 1-0 thanks to an 11th minute long-range strike from their captain, Scott Hillier. Wasn't a lot of goalmouth action, or there wasn't too many golden opportunities for either side in that first half. The other great opportunity went the way of Green Gully when Juan Gatkek rose high and from a cross from Tom Werndl put the header into the crossbar. That come late in that first half. Outside of that, not a lot to report. Brent Sternberg here with our cameraman James. No changes to tell you about at half-time. It's the same 11 for both sides as Mario Boldea is chopped down by Oscar Carlson. The only player on a yellow card out there is Bentleigh's number 26, Jawad Rezai. Lee Broxham from the restart. Crooks' header. Matthew Crooks in appearance number 100 in the top flights. Both teams had 3 shots on goal in that first half. Bentleigh with 2 on target. All of the Gully shots on goal were off target, including, of course, that header from Juan Gatkek. Another free kick here going the way of the Greens. Bentleigh did not lose last season when leading at half-time. They led at half-time 9 times last season. Went on to win 8 times. This is the 3rd time this season that they have led at half-time. On both previous occasions, they've gone on to taste that sweet taste of victory, including, of course, last week. But Green Gully grew in confidence as that first half wore on, and there were large parts of the opening 45 minutes where Gully looked the better team. As Lockhead just has his shirt almost torn off his back, and then his inbound pass intercepted by Boldea. Broxham outside of the boot was crafty. Here is Scott Hillier, the goal scorer. May take the opportunity when we can to go around the grounds and tell you what else is happening on this blockbuster Friday. Carlson and Boldea almost kicking each other in the head there. Diego Cuba comes away with the ball. It's been a great battle in midfield between these two teams this evening. That ball stays in for Adara. Bentleigh starting the second half much like the first. Hillier's first time cross floats up and over the frame of the goal. And Michael Weir races over to get a spare football. The match between Dandenong City and Hume City is at half-time. It's 0-0 at Frank Holohan. Oakley lead George Cross early on at Jack Edwards. We've played 23.5 minutes there. Oakley 1, George Cross 0. Preston and Avondale have just kicked off. Just 8 minutes played there, still 0-0 between the Lions and the Avengers. And 1-0 here at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. As the floodlights take full effect now. The beautiful sunset that we had in the first half now gone. Another long ball from Bentleigh, trying to get it in over the top of the Gully defence. It breaks here for Petratos, who steers his cross right across the 18-yard box. Aidara flags it down. Nicolaides, the 2 former Burgers, waxing together. Nicolaides was tremendous in that first half. So was Adara, to be completely honest. Broxham. And Kamara. Bentleigh pulling Green Gully east and west. Kiflay, who had that one bright moment in the first half, the turn and the shot on the edge of the penalty area that just drifted past the far uprights. Werndl wandering forward. Finds Josh Hope, who's in the new number tonight. One night only. Lockhead. Doubling back. Diego Cuba. Crooks. Back for Cuba. Lockhead. Kiflay's touch a little heavy. Here's Oscar Carlson. Can Crooks track that one down? He can, Kiflay's header. Down for Scott Lockhead. And coming across his boot at the vital moment, Kalaloo Kamara. Another fine opportunity presents itself for the Cavaliers. No doubt the Gully fans rose together as one at the bistro. Here's Carlson again. Lucky deflection falls his way. Down goes Oscar Carlson. And Mario Baldea penalised for the foul. And here comes a wonderful opportunity for Green Gully to try and construct something from the set piece that will come just outside the 18-yard box. Our official in the middle this evening, Terry Constandalos, running with the flags on the sidelines. Tom Rushton and Vince Turcarello, and Nick Mackay is the fourth official. So Diego Cuba is over the set piece here for Gully. And at the moment, well, he's going to leave this one for the youngster. Elio and Kiflay. A direct shot pending here, you would think. Elio and Kiflay strikes it straight into the wall. Regaig strikes it straight into the Bentleigh player. Anthony Frangie that was. Diego Cuba's gone down this time, and another foul going the way of the Cavaliers. A moment of sustained pressure here in the early minutes of the second half. Interesting that Green Gully gave the authority to the youngest player in the team a moment ago for that set piece. Shows how highly they regard their young up-and-coming attacker. Diego Cuba over this one. Into the mixer. Header from Frangie. Bounces once, bounces twice, and goes behind for a corner kick. These are good moments for Green Gully. Can they find an opening and find what would be just their third goal so far this season? This is Diego Cuba again, a right-footed in-swinger for the Cavaliers. Fires it in towards the penalty spot. It's headed away by Lee Broxham, of all players, and will do it again. Diego Cuba barely had to move. Fires it into a similar area. And a Bentleigh player in there was cannoned into by Tom Werndl. Terry Constandalos blows the whistle. Mario Baldea was the one who was fouled. And a disappointing way for that little sequence for the Cavaliers to peter out. Bentleigh players and fans screaming for a foul there on Adara, who is now wriggling around on the turf. Ball goes out of play. Terry goes to have a chat. Some of the players on the bench tonight at the disposal of Bentleigh manager George Katsakis. Kiji Kagiyama, the Japanese player who is back in the squad tonight. Dennis Menelau, the Englishman, off-season signing Anthony Lynn. Youngster Patrick Hogan, who was dynamite off the bench last week against Altona. Youngster Dimitri Relos. For Green Gully, Bilal Habib. Cooper Head, Rushton Tafanai, and Javier Horatio Pio. And Taufik Olamawewe also. Header from Scott Hillier out of play. First 11 minutes of the second half have elapsed. It's been just about all Green Gully who are on the march again. Crooks finding his way inside. Tees up Kifley. Hope. Not entirely sure what his idea was there. It was turned away by the Bentleigh Greens, and now Rezai in some space. Running back in towards the midfield position and running himself into some trouble. And eventually Kamara tidies it all up for Bentleigh. Well, he was spurned on by the Bentleigh fans there, Rezai, but he didn't want to keep rolling forward. He's the sort of player that likes to cut inside. He's a typical winger. Seven appearances for the Marconi Stallions last season, all of them off the bench. Ball fired into the edge of the box. Away by Regaig. Only as far as Boldea. Hillier's first time ball is a beauty. Rezai couldn't quite get onto the end of it. Tracks it down at the second time of asking. Twisting and turning Rezai. Almost losing possession. The attack stymied for a moment. Wow, what a delivery that was from Scott Hillier. And Rezai just stretching every fibre to get something on it. Nicolaides' cross. Awkwardly dealt with there by Werndl. That is an amazing challenge from Anthony Frangi, who does ever so well to win Bentleigh a corner kick. Difficult to lunge in from behind there like Anthony Frangi just did and not bring down the player. Been doing a lot of defending in this second half, Bentleigh. A lot of resistance has had to be shown. It will be a real sucker punch for David Chick's troops if Bentleigh are to score here and double the lead. Looks like Green Gully are about to spring a change or two. Nicolaides lofts it in towards the back post. Rezai did well to gain control. Ball ricochets out for Broxham. Looks like Bilal Habib will be joining us shortly. Oh, loose pass coming out from the back by Regaig. Hillier thumps it forward. Michael Weir claims it comfortably. Just missed those couple of games through injury. Michael Weir, Hope brought down unceremoniously, to say the least, by Lee Broxham, the second player into the little black book of Terry Constantinos. Green Gully's team manager makes his way to the fourth official. Still Bentleigh Greens 1, Green Gully 0. This time Lee Broxham winning the foul, bowled over by Carlson. Bentleigh trying to take it quickly. And once again, Bentleigh being told by the referee, you can take it quickly, but not that quickly. And they were away down the middle. Bentleigh through Marky Petratos. An hour played here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. Still that 11th minute. Scott Hillier strike. Speak of the devil. Hillier's cross. Lobs it in towards the back post. No one in a green shirt, in a Bentleigh shirt I should say, able to attack that one as it dropped from the night sky. It's a nice night out here in the southeast of Melbourne. Still a lovely 18, 19 degrees. The smoke from the world famous Kingston Heath canteen. I'm sure you can see it on your pictures there, just wafting across the pitch. This is a foul that's gone the way, a decision I should say, that's gone the way of Bentleigh to the Green Gully protests. It is a corner kick. When we get this change, it will be a double change for the Gully. They don't want to pull the trigger just yet. The corner kicks are starting to stack up for Bentleigh. Broxham lofts it into the back post. Frangi's header. Once again, they fight over which way the decision will go. This time it does go the way of the Cavaliers. As we turn our attention to the far side, it's going to be Diego Cuba who will make way. And Juan Gatkek is also being removed. So Diego Cuba and Juan Gatkek come off. Bilal Habib is coming on. I think we might have another couple of players here who are not in their usual numbers. Just trying to work out the other Gully player who has been substituted into the match. It's the number 18, Javier Horacio Pio. 18-year-old Green Gully player. Second season at the Gully. He's come down from Queensland, has Horacio Pio. Formerly of Mitchelton FC and Olympic FC. Was the under-19 Golden Boot winner last season. 20 goals in 21 appearances. They're bringing young Javier on with just under half an hour to try and change the flow of this game. Here's Lockhead. Out to the far side. Brought down is Matthew Crooks. The Gully fans that are on that far side not happy with Anthony Frangi. Neither is the referee. So the third Bentleigh player into the little black book of the referee. What do they choose to do with this set piece here, the Gully? They take it short. Here's Matthew Crooks. Left-footed cross. Kiflay brings it down nicely. Werndl. That was not a cross that was going to trouble Bentleigh. And racing away. Juan Rezai again. Early release. Michael Weir's a long way off his line. He played it well enough. Gully perhaps can spring forward. So just for those keeping track at home, Bilal Habib in a different number 14. Has been wearing number 9 this season. Scott Lockhead, what's his idea here? It's a clever ball into the 18-yard box. Habib just a little too slow to react. And Bilal Habib changing numbers as often as his hairstyles this season. A good contest there between Karmas and Petratos. Aminon Karmas is a bit slow to recover from that battle. Gully just made a double change, and it looks like George Kasakis is about to respond with a triple change of his own. In the meantime, the foul, or the ball I should say, rests in the corner. Another corner kick coming here for Bentleigh. The three substitutes watch and wait as Broxham sends it into the near post. It gets past Regaig. Boffey couldn't do anything with it. Adara and Broxham. Adara for Boffey, just got a little bit tangled up. Boffey manages to get the cross in. Hillier at the back post, heads it down. And it deflected off Tom Werndl, and that took all the sting out of it. Able to be claimed by Michael Weir. Bentleigh's best look of the second half. Nicolaides wins a throw in. Here comes that triple change for Bentleigh. We may see some players exit via the near touchline here. Are we going to get this substitution window? Yes, we are. Lee Broxham will be replaced by Keiji Kagiyama. So Lee Broxham's night is done. The return of the Japanese midfielder Keiji Kagiyama. We're also going to see Jawad Rezai replaced. By Patrick Hogan and Anthony Lynn is substituted into the match in place of Anthony Frangi. So Kagiyama, Lynn and Hogan into the match. Broxham, Frangi and Rezai depart. Here is Anthony Lynn, the big number 10. 22-year-old, turns 23 on Monday. Englishman who most recently played for Leamington in the lower leagues of England, was an academy player at Swindon Town. Bilal Habib, nice turn there from Hope, but just let the ball run. Kagiyama. Long ball forward. Karmas didn't quite deal with the situation. Gully have the reinforcements. Carlson. That ball's surely gone out of play. Keiji Kagiyama, he's a first season Bentleigh player as well. Joined from Basara Hyogi in Japan in J3. Third division, Japanese football. Nicolaides draws the foul. So Broxham and Rezai both on yellow cards. No doubt that weighed into the decision from George Katsakis to withdraw those two players. And in fact, Anthony Frangi was the other player who picked up a yellow. So all three players that were booked for Bentleigh withdrawn. Bentleigh still prodding for their second goal. Beautifully brought down there by Petratos. He's working with Hillier. Petratos to the byline, into the dangerous area. Gets past Anthony Lynn. Might break here for Odara, who is brought down. And it will be a penalty for Bentleigh. It broke kindly for the Greens midfielder. And Green Gully, this terrible early season run of conceding penalties continues. The guilty party this time was Matthew Crooks, who maybe is just obviously lacking a little bit of match fitness. And so here is the golden opportunity for Bentleigh to find their second goal and send Green Gully spiralling even further. It's Marky Petratos. It took some of the gloves of Michael Weir, but Petratos finds the back of the net from the spot. His 5th goal of the season for Marky Petratos, and Bentleigh double their lead with 20 minutes to play at Kingston Heath. And with that goal, Marky Petratos goes to the top of the Golden Boot race. He was equal first coming into match day 6 with 4 goals. And for Green Gully, it's the 5th penalty that they have conceded in 6 matches. 4 of them now have been tucked away. And the Gully, who were playing with a bit of confidence and a bit of vigour and verve in their second half, are in that all-familiar position, staring down the barrel of another defeat. And getting a little bit ill-disciplined as well, as they once again put the crosshairs on Mo Adara. Not really sure what Matthew Crooks was thinking in that moment of great regret. Just lunging in to try and win the ball, but Adara got there ahead of him. And our referee, Terry Standalos, didn't need to think at all, really. Didn't need to think twice, didn't need to think at all. Clear penalty. You could tell by the lack of protest from the Green Gully players that it was an easy foul to give. And as mentioned, Michael Weir guessed the right way. You saw it deflect off his gloves, but just hit with too much power. And Marky Petratos will be on the score sheet for what looks like another Bentleigh victory. Still plenty of time as Regay comes sauntering out from his defensive post. Well done, Kagiyama. Gets it back from Odara. Plays in Paddy Hogan. His cross takes a deflection. And it ends up behind all the Bentleigh players on rushing into the 18-yard box. Kagiyama loses possession, looking around for a foul. Hope finds Habib. Habib into the penalty area. Hillier is in the road. Well, Nicolaides was a little bit too worried about the whereabouts of Horatio Pio there rather than the ball. Horatio Pio, 18-year-old, not quite strong enough on the ball there. Anthony Lynn's header finds Marky Petratos, running downhill for Bentleigh. Crossing it into Anthony Lynn, it gets beyond the big Englishman. And ghosting in at the back post as well there was Hogan. Sustained pressure here for Bentleigh as it's a corner kick given. Kagiyama to take with Lee Broxham now taking his seat on the bench. Into the final quarter hour at Kingston Heath. Bentleigh seeking goal number 3. Into the near post. And would you believe it? Scott Hillier, who rarely scores, has a brace for Bentleigh. And Green Gully, it will be a quiet and sombre trip back to Keilor Downs tonight. 2 goals in quick time for the Greens has turned a 1-0 lead into an unassailable 3-0 lead. And Scott Hillier has 2 goals. Coming into tonight, the Bentleigh skipper had only scored 5 times in 89 appearances. It was a terrific header at the near post. How quickly things can change in football. Green Gully's promising first 15 or so minutes to begin this second half now long forgotten. Bentleigh Greens 0, Bentleigh Greens 3, Green Gully 0. Kiflay, here's Carlson. Habibi's there at the back post. Well done, Nicolaides. A crucial touch to take it away from Habib. Behind for a Gully corner. We are going to have this substitution before the corner kick is taken. Tom Werndl is being removed and Taufik Olamawewe coming on for Green Gully. Olamawewe started the first 5 matches for the Cavaliers, coming from the bench obviously tonight. Can they throw themselves a lifeline here, the Gully? It's in towards the back post. Olamawewe's just about lost his shirt. Referee didn't see anything in there untoward. Hillier, the right back for Bentleigh, who is on a hat-trick. Now, sometimes it's just your night, I suppose. Former captain at Avondale, captained the Avengers to their Doherty Cup triumph in 2021. A New Zealander who was a part of Team Wellington's OFC Championship assault in 2018. Bentleigh on the march! Oh dear! Petrados' cross has come off the Green Gully player and into the back of the net. It come off Cooper Head. His first touch is a poisonous one. And the Cavaliers' season of unfortunate events rolls on. In no time, it has become Bentleigh 4, Green Gully 0. Well, it's going to be a very quiet trip back to Keilor Downs. I have to be completely honest. Bentleigh have not been 4 goals better than Green Gully tonight. But a couple of the opportunities that have presented themselves, they have taken, and Bentleigh have been the beneficiaries now 2 weeks in a row of diabolical defensive errors. First Altona last week that led to the first Petratos goal. And the 4th goal here this evening, a Cooper Head own goal. Still 10 minutes to play. This is going to be a long 10 minutes for Green Gully. As Josh Hope goes in robustly into that challenge on Mario Boldea. Bentleigh are going to make 2 more changes. Coming on will be Dennis Menelau. And Dimitri No, I think they might have mucked up the numbers on the board there. It looks like Dimitri Relos is coming on as well. Yep, so Menelaou for Mohamed Aidara. And the youngster Dimitri Relos. As Bentleigh clear the benches. Dimitri Relos replacing number 7, Maki Petratos, who won't have a brace tonight for the second consecutive game. But he's on the score sheet and will feel pretty good about that when he's reading the paper tomorrow and having his bowl of Cheerios and orange juice. Not in the bowl together, of course. Here's Hogan. Bentleigh with the seek and destroy attitude here. Regaig gives it away. Hilliard's first time ball. Cleared, not all that convincingly. Habib. And now Cooperhead, whose mind must still be ringing after that defensive error, was just trying to get back into a defensive position, and the cross fired off his midriff and into the net. Michael Weir out of position. Here's Scott Hillier. What a night he's had at the office. Green Gully, I mentioned the match-up history earlier this evening. Green Gully had won the last 3 against Bentleigh. As Menelaou's cross into the area, away by Lockhead. Of course, these two teams haven't played one another for a couple of seasons, but Green Gully had won the last 3, but Bentleigh had won 13 of the 14 previous matches with just one draw. So this is a matchup that historically Bentleigh have liked. As Maki Petratos is accepting the plaudits there of the fans. It'll be 5 goals in 6 appearances for the Bentleigh striker. Bilal Habib, who's clipped on his adventure into the pitch. Moves it on quickly. Horatio Pio and Carlson. Good recovery there by Michael Boffey after he slipped over. Olamawewe and Anthony Lynn. There's a lot of muscle in that particular contest. Menelaou brings down Scott Lockhead. So it'll be back to the drawing board for Green Gully. This is going to be now their equal worst start to a season ever. Their worst start to a season since 1979. That's the only time in club history where the Cavaliers have picked up just 1 point through the first 6 matches. And barring the most remarkable turnaround we've ever seen in the NPL Victoria, the 2026 record will equal it. Header back across the goal mouth. Oh, and it might sit up here for Lockhead, who tried to blast it through the green wall. Deflects behind for a corner kick. Just looking for a goal now, the Cavaliers, that would be a consolation prize. Lockhead in swinger, right into the grasp of Ahmed Taleb, who is only a few minutes away from consecutive clean sheets. Early release there, Menelaou. Relos is on his way. Kiflay watching him closely. 2 of the youngsters going to battle, and Relos gets the better of Elion Kiflay. Tried to slide it through for Menelaou, didn't quite work. Hope. head for Lockhead. In towards the back post. Hope is there. Hillier beats him to the header. It'll be another corner kick for the Gully as Josh Hope picks himself up. Leon Kifley, the designated set-piece taker here as we're into the final 5 minutes. This turns into a long night for the Gully. In towards the near post, it pinballs around. And eventually it's hoiked away by Bentleigh. Kiji Kageyama, long diagonal pass. This is Raulos again on the left channel this time. And this time against Oscar Carlson. Can't quite get the better of the Swedish midfielder. Behind for a goal kick. For those of you that might be wondering, when is the latest into a season that Green Gully have snatched victory? I will give you that information in just a moment. There's a ratio PO. Loses possession. Carlson suffers the same fate. Hope. Kifley. Good work there by Hillier. And the latest they have ever had to wait for a victory in a season is match day 11. And that has happened on 2 occasions. Both in 1977, as that one is claimed by Ahmed Talib. 1977, which was their first season in the top flight of Victorian football. And it happened again in 1979, which they will equal tonight for the worst ever start to a season for the Green Gully Cavaliers. In terms of a start through 6 games, Olomowewe has been flawed again here. It's been a bit of a problem all season for Green Gully, and it's reared its ugly head again tonight when they have those periods in the match where they are the team on the front foot. Just haven't been able to put the ball in the back of the net, which is very important. We think back to that one Gatkek header that rattled the frame of the goal in the dying minutes of the first half, how different this game might have been if Gatkek had scored. That was really the only moment that Gatkek had in the match. He was very quiet in the second half before being withdrawn by David Chick. They made changes to their front 4 tonight, Green Gully. Gatkek was one of the players that survived. Be interesting to see who David Chick picks in the starting 11 when Green Gully go to Altona next Saturday afternoon. Hogan. Again trying to find Menelau, but Oscar Carlson is in the way. Kifley has a nice touch to take himself around the Bentleigh player. Oscar Carlson. Bentleigh, meantime, at home again next Friday night. They'll take on Dandenong Thunder. Carlson is retreating here. Olomowewe and Karmas. And now back with Regaig. Anthony Lynn pokes it forward. Here come Bentleigh. Hogan leaves it. Lynn, I should say, leaves it for Hogan. Wants to get onto his left boots. And then trying to do a little too much, trying to find Dimitri Raulos. As Hillier clatters into Habib. It's been the 8 minutes of madness that tore this game apart. 3 goals in 8 minutes for Bentleigh. The goal was on the game I should say was on tenterhooks when Bentleigh led by just 1. They led by 1 goal for an hour, the Greens, after the 11th minute strike from Scott Hillier, as we venture into 4 minutes of second half stoppage time. Green Gully had looked the better team before Bentleigh went on the 8 minutes of terror as Kageyama fires that one wide of the goal mouth. Just saw Michael Weir off his line. So Bentleigh at home against the Thunder next Friday night, and then the teams will be in cup action. Bentleigh at home to Moreland City. Green Gully will also be at home. They will welcome the Goulburn Valley Suns to Keilor Downs. Rallos, bit too much on it for Anthony Lynn. It's been a tough welcome back between the posts of Michael Weir. You can see and hear his frustrations. After the cup action, Bentleigh will be away to Dandenong City on match day 8 and then back home to play Preston match day 9. Green Gully, after their date with Goulburn Valley, will be away to the Thunder on match day 8. And then a double up in the Rangers, away to Dante City. Here's Regaig on the volley. Rifles it across the 6-yard box. Ricochets out and falls kindly for Hogan. Here's Dennis Manilau. Scored a lot of goals in the lower leagues of the Victorian football pyramid the past few seasons, mostly with Bulleen. That's a teasing ball right under the nose of Anthony Lynn and Michael Weir. Anthony Lynn is onside and fires it straight at the goalkeeper, Michael Weir. That was not offside. Michael Weir cannot believe it. But the official on this near touchline flag stayed down. That was very odd. I think even Anthony Lynn was expecting the flag. If he knew he wasn't going to be flagged for offside, he might have taken that shot more seriously. Green Gully will be rooted to the bottom of the table for an extra week. Long time to go in this season, of course. We've still got 20 matches, but Green Gully, a proud football club that have only suffered the indignity of being relegated once in their history. That was when they were relegated from the National Soccer League at the end of the 1986 season. Started incredibly slowly last season and were able to turn things around, but this season, objectively, has been even worse. It will be 1 point from the first 6 games. Bentleigh, meantime, will be on a 2-game winning streak and full of confidence. Rallos. In towards the middle of the penalty area. Bilal Habib, who's just sort of gone through the motions since coming on. The final seconds tick away at Kingston Heath on a night where it was a good contest for the first 70 or so minutes before things got out of hand quickly for Green Gully. And this is a season that is spiralling for the Gully, and fast. Bentleigh can sign the Grand Old Cavaliers to their equal worst start to a season in their history. It's another defeat for Green Gully. It's a consecutive victory for Bentleigh, who thrash the Cavaliers in the end. They scored in the 11th minute of the match, a long-range strike from captain Scott Hillier, put Bentleigh into the ascendancy. That was the lead that they took into the half-time break. Juan Gatkek had a great opportunity to level the scores on the cusp of half-time. His header rattling the frame of the goal. That was the only real contribution from the Green Gully striker. Green Gully were the better team for the first 15 or so minutes of the second half. And then in 8 minutes of terror, Bentleigh were a green tornado that tore the Cavaliers to shreds. 3 goals in 8 minutes. A Marky Petratos penalty, a Scott Hillier header from the corner, and then an egregious Cooper Head own goal. And it was good night for the Cavaliers, who limp off the pitch here at Kingston Heath, pondering where on earth this season is going. And David Chick, as he leaves Kingston Heath Soccer Complex tonight, will be wondering the same. Will Green Gully have a new coach the next time we see them next weekend, when they are away to play their Western Suburb rivals, Altona Magic? Thanks for your company this evening, gang. A good one if you wear the green of Bentleigh. 2 consecutive wins, 2 consecutive clean sheets. Bentleigh back where they belong in the top division. For myself, Brent Sternberg, and our cameraman, James, we will bid you farewell on this Friday evening at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex, where the final score reads the Bentleigh Greens 4, Green Gully 0.